Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic, host of Bachelor Recap, a Guys Review. The finale was last night. We had a 4-hour after-episode live stream. So much to get into today. Interviews, comments, who's still together, what the hell's going on with Bachelorette. We'll reveal all that. We'll talk about all that in this video. As you know, I take notes, read them back to you, and there is no edits, no jump cuts. Let's get right into it. We start with the finale Part 2, Neal Lane is in the audience, so you know it's about to be official. My favorite tweet I saw all night was this one: when you work on a show for 20 years only to watch someone else host the most dramatic finale in Bachelor history. Pray for Chris Harrison right now. Jesse Palmer, though, did a great job. We'll get into it. We start with Clayton. He goes to his parents, and he's like, all right, I'm all in on Susie. They go, why Susie? And, of course, they haven't met Susie. They met Rachel. They met Gabby. Clayton says if she gives him a second chance, it'll be worth it. And we're all like, I don't know about that. Susie shows up, says it's been a few rough days, says her mentality changed when he turned on her. Of course, when they got in that fight at the Fantasy Suites. She felt like an awful person, was humiliated, felt like a stray dog, and he was shooing her out. So we're all excited for Susie. She finally gets to express how she feels. This is a big moment. She gets to really tell Clayton off. It's healthy. This is a good thing. A deburdening, if you will. He apologizes, says he didn't mean the things he said. He says, I love you and I don't want to lose you. And she says she's not in a place to make a decision right now. Of course, do we even get into all the things that happened with Gabby and Rachel? I mean, there's just so much to talk about here. He tells Susie, don't rush, think about it, and he knows where he stands. So he says, I owe it to them, the other ladies, to tell them everything and break up with them. And, of course, then Clayton goes and breaks up with them in person. And this is the meme that says it all, where Gabby says, that's it, I think, for me. She's like, yeah, I think we're good here. Are we good? We're going to go now. She's like, I think we're all going to wrap this puppy up. We're done, right? Yeah, this is probably ridiculous. Next day, Clayton says the hope that he had is slipping. He says his heart is with Susie, so it can't be with Gabby or Rachel, and says he feels guilty because he fought to keep them around just 2 days earlier. Clayton arrives to break up with Rachel and Gabby. Yikes! He doesn't hide the dumping energy. Starts to speak in past tense. That's how you know it's a problem when he's like, this whole journey, I followed my heart. I caused so much pain. I wish I could take it all back. I saw a future with you both. And they're like, I'm seeing a future where I hate you. He's actually about to dump them together. So he announced that he was intimate with them both together. Wasn't intimate together, but that wouldn't that be a fantasy suite, huh? So he says, Gabby says, you could have put yourself in our shoes before doing this, so that's it for me, and then walks out. Then Clayton pulls an Ari and follows her to her room, asks to talk. Gabby says, I don't know who you are at all. She goes, you sound actually ridiculous. Gabby says, you address us as a group. Your actions speak way louder than words. And she says, Clayton asked her to stay because his ego is hurt after Susie left, and then Gabby shreds him. So, tons of shredding went down. Let's see if we have any more info here. There she is. She said, I found this tweet. You kept me because your pride was hurt because Susie left. When I was leaving, you didn't like it, but now it's okay because it's on your terms. Yes, Gabby, tell him. So the whole world, everyone's cheering. Woo, everyone's cheering. You can see the reaction shots from the audience. Clayton asks if he can walk her out. She says no. The reaction shot of the audience cheering, her grandpa cheering. This is what we needed to unite the world. You know, the world's got so many issues right now. All we needed was Gabby to tell Clayton off, and we can go back to normal, back to the 2019 years before we knew of the current state of affairs. Gabby shows up to the live show, hugs her grandpa. Where's Gabby at the live show? There she is, looking dazzling. It's Gabby's first time seeing Clayton since Iceland. Clayton arrives. They hug. Let's see, where's Clayton? Oh, no, we missed that part. Anyway, we'll get, maybe we don't have a photo of that. Gabby cuts off Clayton when he says he did love her. She goes, by saying, when you say love, you assume responsibility to care for them. She reiterates that she doesn't think he is malicious. She says his actions couldn't back up his words. I've never seen someone so cutting and graceful at the same time. Gabby is one of the most emotionally intelligent person we've ever had on the show. She was able to set her boundaries. And when we spoke with Dr. Diane Strakowski last night on the part 2 of our after episode live stream, she said that she wouldn't be surprised if Gabby has done extensive amounts of therapy, just the way she talks and understands kind of the way the human condition is. Jesse asked if Clayton regrets telling Gabby that he was intimate with other women. Clayton says he didn't ask enough questions and he made too many assumptions that were wrong and apologizes for not figuring that out till it was too late. All right, not bad. All right, Rachel Recchia's turn. There she is. I'll go to Rachel. Not looking good. She's looking good, but the body language not looking good. Immediate tears during their breakup. She says, "Now I thought all season Rachel was going to be the number one." I think most people did. Rachel breaks down, says she fought for him. She met his parents. She says when he put her in the car, she isn't going to stop loving him. So it was wild, the breakup. She says this is going to haunt him that he let her go. Rachel's dad is nodding in the audience. Where's Rachel's dad? Let's see if we can find him. There, it's a little dark there, but oh boy, they do not look happy. You could say Clayton won't be getting a Christmas card this year from the Recchia family. That's a good dad, though. She lets Clayton walk her out. She's outside crying in the street. Clayton apologizes, says he did see it ending differently. This was so messy. And then, of course, Rachel was so pissed off that he wasn't crying or anything like that. It was a mess. So Rachel is now live in the audience. You could hear a pin drop. Rachel says she didn't know what was going on behind the scenes, felt blindsided. She says it was complete disrespect to her and Gabby that he couldn't break up with them separately. Yeah, and I think that's one of those things we'll never have answers on. Like, why didn't he break up with them separately? Rachel says she was still willing to fight for Clayton as he was putting her into the car. She fought all the way till the end. Then Jesse Palmer asks Rachel if she's still in love with him. She says she doesn't have feelings for him anymore. And look, I can understand, maybe the breakup was so bad it ripped the Band-Aid off, but come on, it's only been a few months. You got to have some feelings for him, So, lingering, even if you hate somebody, it's still going to take a little while to flush it out of your system, right? I don't know. Maybe she did a sweat lodge in Arizona and she's feeling better. Who knows? Clayton arrives. There is no hug with Rachel. They don't hug. She barely looks at him. She's scorned and rightfully. Good for her. She says, none of these emotions are for you or about you. It has nothing to do with lingering feelings because I became collateral damage in your journey for love. That was the most completely selfish journey. Hey, Rachel, tell us how you really feel. Come on. Now, look, do I believe that none of these feelings are for him? No, she's angry because of him. That means those are feelings because of him. Lingering love? Maybe not. Scorn? Sure. Why not? Clayton, of course, apologizes. He knows he hurt her. Rachel says she doesn't believe him. The crowd cheers. She says this is the first apology she has seen on camera, which I think he's basically apologizing since he was first introduced. So bring out our new Bachelor, Clayton. And he's like, I'm sorry. Wait till you see what happens. I am so sorry. Rachel says she doesn't know what his version of love is now. Says she loved him. Tony, Rachel's dad, says he has nothing to say. And Rachel's mom says she's angry. There they are right there. Clayton apologizes to the parents. Jesse asks Clayton if he is haunted, which is so funny because she was like, I'm going to haunt you for this decision. And then Jesse Palmer's like, are you haunted? And that's where we get to today's moment. Is Clayton Eckhart haunted by the soul of Rachel Recchia? When we'll find out. That'd be a nice little spinoff, like Haunted Bachelors. Back in Iceland, Clayton sends Susie a note. Jesse delivers it. And Clayton is suited up in his proposal suit. He's got the ring in his hand. I'm sure Bachelor producers were like, oh, we spent all this money on this, Airbnb rental and we won't get the deposit back. So you are proposing. They buy this whole nice house. They set it up and they're like, oh yeah, there's no proposal. They're like, hey, Clayton, stand on the dotted line and get ready to propose. You're going to do it. All right. Daddy needs a final scene. Susie arrives, a wet and windy evening. Jesse walks her inside. Clayton is ready with his Neal Lane ring. This is it, folks. Anyone else hyped for this moment? Clayton gives Susie a speech, has the ring in the open, says give him a chance. He will prove it if she gives him the chance. Susie says, I don't think that I'm your person. And she has made the decision to leave Iceland alone, says her decision is devastating. She says she doesn't think she is his person. Clayton says it's hard to hear, but he appreciates her hearing that. Clayton says he will take take is as long as it needs if she wants to continue to pursue it. Says it's not over till she tells him it's over. Susie says, I feel like it's over. And then, wow, she gives him a hug. Now, there's some theories online that they were still together, that they didn't actually break up in this moment. I'm going to believe that they broke up, but, a lot happens. You go home cooking. You can get away from the production, the producers. We're going to come back our next video and discuss what Susie was saying today in her interviews regarding all of this. Jesse Palmer says, well, that's the end of his love story. This is one of my favorite parts of the show. Jesse Palmer goes, that's the end of his love story. Then Jesse Palmer takes 3 pregnant pauses as the whole crowd just waits there. And then he goes, not. How good was that moment? That was my favorite moment. I feel like Jesse Palmer earned his paycheck there. He was able to do something a little different. He was able to make lighten the mood, make it more fun. And he says, this is the first time that Clayton or any lead has been rejected at the altar, which I was surprised to find that out. Clayton joins Jesse live, says it's been 5 years of growth packed into 2 months. He wishes he could have done things differently and taken back the pain. Clayton says he was reached out to by someone after his Iceland journey was over. He didn't think any of the women would reach out to him. And what we'll show in the next video is that he was surprised he even saw the message. I mean, she gets so many messages, and I'm sure he's like not ready to respond. And he was reached out to. Who was it? Of course, it was Susie. Clayton says they are one conversation at a time. He wanted to rebuild what he could. She tells Clayton that she loves him. So there they are, folks. Can you believe this ending? She says they both made mistakes on their journey, but they have love for each other. My guess is after the show is over, she DM'd him, and they found out that the production manipulated both of them, and they were able to come to an understanding that they actually had a true connection. That's just my guess. Jesse Palmer asks how Bachelor Nation will react. Hey, newsflash, listen, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you think. It doesn't matter what I think. Let them live in Virginia and pursue their relationship without our opinions. They are in a fishbowl. We're watching them, and they need to we need to mind our business. We can watch them all we want, but like at the end of the day, it is what it is. He says he was following his heart, and it was the best decision he could make. Clayton says he's moving in with Susie in Virginia, left his job, sold his condo, and ready to give it a fair shot. Clayton asks Susie one last final time, will you accept this final rose? And then, of course, after we usher them off, we've got the announcement of who the next Bachelorette will be. And as soon as Jesse Palmer says, it's not Rachel and it's not Gabby, I don't know about you guys, but I knew, all right, I hear some linguistical issues. It's not one or the other. Who must it be? Both of them. So the next Bachelorette, I think, airs July 11th, and it'll be Rachel Recchia and Gabby, and we will get to watch them as besties compete for love. They start filming this week. We're going to have all the behind the scenes. We're going to have spoiler videos. If you don't like spoiler videos, don't worry. I will let you know when we have a spoiler, when it's not. You can steer clear of the spoilers. They will start filming potentially on a cruise ship. They might be filming on the Virgin cruise ship. We don't know for sure. There's a lot of rumors out there. Do me a favor, if you want all the behind the scenes info, go to patreon.com/Dave Neal. You can catch my bonus content over there. You can watch all of last night's live streams. If you guys want all the Bachelor news updates, I'm going to be giving it to you, and I'll be here for you. So Bachelor Nation News at DNeals on Instagram. Let me know what you guys think. Oh, wrong button. Let me know what you guys think. We'll have content coming all day long. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye, guys.